Huh? Did they just... Did they just vamp into existence? Hello? What? Exhausted, I staggered outside. And I saw a man was sitting in front of them, looking straight at me. Oh my gosh. Hey, whoa, hey! You think this content is free? Well, I mean, it is, but that's besides the point. You need to pay your ruffian taxes. What do you mean, taxes? I watch your videos to escape real life. You know exactly what I mean. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't, ring the bell to get notified when I drop more content, and leave a comment. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the video, okay? Alright, bye-bye. How's it going, everybody? HoodlaMutt here, back with some more Steins Gate 0. And last time, we got the recursive Mother Goose ending, where it was just kind of this wholesome bond between Mayuri and Kagari, and their departure, basically, from each other as they try to fix time and all of that. It was very wholesome. I quite liked that one. And now we're on the fourth ending route. Well, we will be, because the very next thing we have to do to get on the path to the next route is, instead of not answering at this phone call that we're about to get in a second, we will instead answer it. So let's not waste any time. Let's just get into it. Okay, I made it. So we're here. They're rushing the door. I got to the spot, so we're just gonna answer. The phone I pressed against Kagari's head stopped ringing, and in that moment, the world changed. Oh boy, okay. Okay. I was inside a deep black darkness. There was no sound. No temperature. Just darkness, cold, and silence. No one was here. I didn't even know if I was asleep or awake. There was nothing but a vague sense of presence. Nothingness. Nothingness spreading out to infinity. Huh? What was I doing? Wasn't I... Hey, Okabe! If you keep lying there, you'll catch a cold. Huh? I turned towards the voice. Standing there, next to the open curtains of the development room, was... Oh my goodness! Okay. Another one of these routes. Let's go. Is it a dream, though? Or is he actually awake? I don't know. Cool. Okay. I'm curious to know if this one's permanent this time, though. I don't know why. It didn't strike me the first time when it happened. I was freaking out. This time I was, like, actually kind of expecting it. What? Oh. There you are, Credits. Oh, interesting. He's not freaking out. What do you mean, there you are? I've been here the whole time. Have you? Yup. Yesterday and the day before. I've been here a long time. It did seem that way, come to think of it. My head seemed like it was full of fuzz. Is reading Steiner not kicking in? Is that what's happening right now? Hello? Okay. But I wasn't sleepy or tired or anything like that. My mind was very awake. But something was missing. Something important. Hey, where are Daru and Mayuri? Are you really okay? Did something happen to you? What do you mean? Hashida and Mayuri are right there. Look. Huh? Oh, huh? Did they just vamp into existence? Hello? What? I'm so confused.
Ocarine! Da-da-da.
How could you miss somebody as big as me, Ocarine? Oh, that's right. I just realized too. They're the old models. What the heck? Did it put him back in the Alpha World line? Like back when he was dealing with all this stuff in like the first game? What is happening? Daru and Mayuri were always here, weren't they? No, it wasn't just them. Oh, okay.
Kiyoma! You doing okay, Nyan? I'll use my kitty charms to make you feel better, Nyan.
Kiyoma, if there's anything I can do to make you feel better, just tell me. Faris and Lukaku, too. And... Huh? What is okay, alright, everything's been thrown out the window. What are we, are we a big kumbaya happy family now? What's going on right now?
I'll make you a special juice from the edible grasses I found in this area, Rintaro Okabe.
I'm here too, Okabe. Suzuha and Moeka. All of the lab members were in the lab. Like they always were. Like they always were. That's right. This was my daily life. This was how I spent every day. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, he is! It's back! Oh, they got all these other... They added Faris and freaking Suzuha into this. This is kind of cool! This is from, like, the first game! Yo! So this is, like, all old, but then they added, I think, Suzuha and Faris. I don't remember them being at the little, what do you call this? The round table, but it was actually a rectangular table or whatever. But if you notice, if they are new additions and they weren't here before, because I'm not remembering, they actually added them in with the old art style. Like, it's got the blotchy look on them and stuff. That's so sick. Oh, that's so cool. But yo, what is happening? So he just went back like into a different world line like nothing happened, huh? Something's gonna be screwed though. Something's bad. Something's gonna go awry. You know it is. This is too perfect. It appears everyone has arrived. Therefore, we shall now begin the 65,536th round table. Are you ready? Whoa! Whoa! Really? So he jumped into a time where this was just how it always was. What is going on?
You're always so loud.
And you need to wipe that self-satisfied expression right off your face, assistant.
I keep telling you, I'm not your assistant. Ocarine and Kiritz are always such good friends.
You're the perfect couple. Now go explode.
Wait, Hashida! I am not in a relationship with this guy. They say the closer you are, the more you fight, Nya.
I'm jealous.
You should join in the fun, Urashibara.
What? I couldn't. I just couldn't. Fun. Stop wasting time, guys. We're starting the meeting.
So, what are we talking about today?
What else? Our topic for today is... What? Our topic.
Okabe?
Something was wrong.
Okarin?
Everything seemed the same, but... What's wrong, Okarin? That's right. It was cold. Oh my gosh, because it was always hot in the lab, right? He's noticing.
Kiyoma?
I didn't feel it.
Kiyoma.
No emotions.
Dintaro Okabe.
No warmth.
Okabe.
Everyone was here. But it was cold and dark. Cold. Cold. Cold, 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 cold. I was so cold. It felt like the marrow of my bones was going to freeze. Like my bones were made of ice. Like all the blood in my body had been replaced with mercury. It was cold. It felt like I was going to freeze at any moment. What was this? Where was this place? Where was I? Whoa, what is happening right now? Wait, did he just jump again? Hello? What the? Where? Was I? What was I doing? I tried to speak, but the words didn't come out. I looked like I was lying on a bed. And a very hard one at that. I slowly looked around. It wasn't the lab, and it wasn't my room. The room was old and gloomy. Of course, I'd never seen it before. What was I doing here? There was a terrible pain in my head, like someone had jammed an electrode into my brain. I tried to raise my hand as I lay there, but it was too heavy. It was like all the joints in my body had frozen. It took all my strength to slowly sit up. Each time I moved a little, my muscles screamed and pain ran through my whole body. After several minutes, I finally succeeded in sitting on the edge of the bed and looking down. I realized I was wearing a white gown, like hospital patients wear. Is this like... Bro, this almost seems like a continuation from the first route, right? When Leskinen worked on his head? Is that what's going on? What the heck? There was some kind of equipment on my head, and the cables coming out of it were connected to a strange machine. What had happened to me? Just a moment ago, I was... That's right. Kagari. Kurtz's memories had been downloaded into Kagari's head. We'd tried to erase them by overwriting them with Kagari's own memories. And then... That's right. I remembered now. The world line had shifted right after that. What had happened then? I tried to remember, but it was like my mind was filled with fog. For now, I needed to figure out where I was. I took off the headgear and got out of bed. And collapsed. This didn't make sense. Was I just dizzy after all that was going on in my head? I tried to stand up again. And I couldn't get any strength in my legs. I kept standing up and falling over. And in the end, I was only able to get up by grabbing the side of the bed. How could standing on my own 2 feet be so exhausting? Was I sick with some terrible disease? And then maybe I'd been in bed for several days? I didn't like that. I don't like how that was moving. I somehow managed to drag my weak legs to the door. It was bizarrely heavy. Or maybe it just seemed that way to me. What is this? It only opened after I put my full weight on it. The door was locked, but it seemed to be the kind that could be opened from the inside. I walked down the dark hallway, leaning up against the wall for support. At the end of the hall were stairs. I clung to the railing and slowly walked up them. At the end of the stairs, I found a hatch. Using the full strength of my back, I was just barely able to get it open. I was inside an old building. I walked down the crumbling hallway, still clueless as to what was going on, and finally found the door to the outside. Exhausted, I staggered outside. And I saw... Yup, oh no. Oh no. Okay, so maybe this is like somewhat of a pseudo-continuation of what happened when he went into the... Remember when he went into like the war world line and then he vamped back real quick? He was only there for like a short period, or actually he was there for a month, I guess, technically, but just game-wise, he was there for a short second. I bet he's there, and I bet either this is after Dr. Leskinen worked on his brain in the first route type of deal, or it's after, like, we got handed over to the Americans, right? So then the Americans, we were with, what was that guy's name? Hammond, or something like that, I think was his name. And I bet this is, you know, kind of like what would have happened. That's my first guess. Mountains of shattered rubble. What the heck? Rows of destroyed, abandoned buildings. Exposed, twisted steel girders. At first, I thought it was a movie set. Oh my gosh, a satellite? But it was all far too realistic for that. The walls, the windows, the ceilings. Everything was destroyed. Little bits of rubble covered the ground. There were cracks in the asphalt on the road, making it impossible to walk straight. And it wasn't just directly in front of me. I spun around a full 360 degrees and saw the same scene everywhere. I smelled oil. I smelled something burning. I looked up to the sky. It was dark and gloomy. I thought it might just be cloudy, but something else seemed to be going on. I could see the hazy outline of the sun beyond the black curtain that covered the sky. A violent pain in my throat made me cough. I quickly covered my mouth with the sleeve of my gown. My eyes stung. I tried once more to calm down and see if I could remember what happened, but I had no luck. All I knew for sure was that there had been a world line shift when I'd deleted Kuditz's memories from inside Kagari. The memories held by the Amadeus Kuditz. And the memories implanted in Kagari. Maybe when whoever owned them changed, that is, whoever held Kuditz's time machine theory, the world line changed with it. Huh. Maybe when whoever owned them changed, like owned... You mean Kuditz's memories? Is that what he's talking about? Huh. Okay. And this was another altered world line. Which meant what I was seeing was... I saw what looked like an ash-covered stick poking out of the ground in the corner of my eye. I slowly went to take a closer look. It was sticking out of the rubble, and at the tip, it split into 5 smaller branches. It was a hand. It was a human hand that had been scorched pitch black. A terrible feeling came rising up out of my stomach. Suddenly, I thought I saw something move. Someone was there. Where? I listened carefully to try to pick them out. The other side of that big building. I could hear some kind of sound from over there. Was someone there? If there was, maybe they could tell me what the heck was going on. Trying my best not to make any sound, I peeked through the walls of the crumbling building. They were there, all right. There were people there. Lots of them. But they weren't people anymore. They were just human-shaped wads of meat, piled up into a mountain. And on top of the mountain was a pack of dogs. Something long and slick was hanging out from the dog's mouth. Intestines. They were eating them. They were eating the bodies. The stench was horrible. The sound of the flies was overwhelming. It was like something out of hell. My gaze met the vacant eyes of one of the bodies. One of its eyes fell out, and black insects crawled out of the empty socket. I ran away. I ran as fast as I could, stumbling forward on failing legs. Somewhere. Was there somewhere around here that was sane? But no matter how far I went, it was the same thing. Mountains of rubble. Rows of abandoned buildings. All I could see were the dead. There were no living humans. Oh my gosh. And then I found it. There were rows of huge buildings, which all looked as if they were about to fall over. The roads were full of cracks. There was a warped overpass sticking out of the ground. A few rows of iron and railroad ties. I knew it. I knew this place. It was only a shadow of its former self, but I knew it. This was Akihabara, which meant... What happened to the lab? Where was Mayuri? Where was Daru? Where was Faris? What about Lukako? Or Suzaha? What happened to Maho and Kagari? Just as I ran toward the lab to find out, I heard footsteps behind me. Rough footsteps, stomping over the rubble. More than one set. They got louder and louder, and soon I saw them coming towards me from between the crumbling buildings. There were 3 of them. They each had assault rifles in their hands. You! What are you doing there? When they saw me, they all pointed their guns at me. There was so much I wanted to ask them. There were things I wanted to know. But the only thought that came to me was that I needed to get away. But even as I tried to turn and run, my body refused to listen. Don't move! They must have sensed that I was about to flee, because one of them yelled. Holes appeared in the concrete at my feet. They'd shot at me. They really shot at me. They'd shot at me with real guns. If I'd been just a little closer, they would have hit me. I was too scared to stand. The men got closer, still holding the guns. Run. You have to run. But it was like my body belonged to someone else. It wasn't listening to me. The men kept getting closer. And then... there was another sharp noise. What the heck? One of the men collapsed to the side. He hit his head on the rubble and stopped moving. Huh? The other 2 waved their guns around, clearly confused as to what just happened.
You're in the way!
Something dragged me to the ground. Oh my gosh. And then more gunshots. The 2 of them fell backwards, still holding their weapons, at almost the exact same time. They'd died. Right in front of me. Someone had died. I could do nothing more than sit there and watch as a silhouette moved in front of me.
Are you trying to get killed?
I looked up, and the person I saw was... Oh, Suzaha! Oh my gosh! Suzaha.
Come on. How long are you just going to sit there?
Did you kill them?
What kind of stupid question is that?
It was a colder voice than I'd ever heard. You're... Suzaha, right? Her iron mask of an expression suddenly changed to surprise. But that was only for a moment. A second later, and the fierceness had returned.
Who are you?
Did she really not? You don't know who I am? Did the change in the world line mean that Suzaha and I had never met? It's me, Okabe, Rintaro Okabe. The expression on her face changed again.
Rintaro Okabe? That's... impossible.
2 pairs of icy footsteps sounded in the darkness.
This way.
After I'd given my name, Suzaha had stared at me suspiciously for a moment. Then she'd made some kind of call and told me to come with her. She made me wear a blindfold almost the entire time, though. So I had no idea which way I'd gone or where I was.
Stop.
I did as she said. When I heard the knock, I finally realized we were in front of a door. Moe moe for you!
Bakian-kyun.
What the heck? Come in. Evidently, that was the password. I could only think of one man who'd choose such a stupid password. I heard the sound of a heavily locked door opening, and at last I saw a dimly lit room in the darkness. The room was piled high with what looked like mechanical junk. Rows of instruments lined the walls. Oh my gosh, is he like in the way future? How did that happen? A man was sitting in front of them, looking straight at me. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad. You're finally awake, Okarin. Who was this guy? How did he know my name? I'm assuming it's Daru? He must have been in his mid-40s. He was a big, broad-shouldered man with a stubbly face. There was a sharp but gentle light in his eyes. I felt like I'd seen him somewhere before. Who are you? Oh my gosh! Whoa! Oh my gosh, he cleaned himself up in this world line. That's crazy. That doesn't even look like him, dude. Oh my gosh. Oh, jeez. Did you forget about me? Even after all that's happened, that still hurts, Okarin. The way he talked. And that voice. There was only one person it could be. But that was... Are you... Daru? The man's face broke into a broad smile. Good. You did remember. I thought you'd forgotten. Daru, is it really you? Who else do you know that's as handsome as me? Right, Suzuha?
I might admit that, if you lost a little weight.
Oh, what do you mean? Look at this guy. It's a completely different person. Don't say that. I've lost a lot of weight since I was younger. Indeed, the Daru in front of me was quite a bit slimmer than the Daru I knew.
And wait, Dad, why are you talking funny?
I don't usually talk like this, but I figured it would make things easier for Okarin. The more pressing issue, though, was his age. He was clearly a middle-aged man. The youngest I could possibly imagine him to be was his early 40s. Huh? And then I saw a shelf in the corner. I saw a man I didn't know reflected in its glass. It was another man like him, in his 40s. He was staring at me with a gloomy, sunken face. I slowly raised my right hand, and the man raised his left, as if copying me. Daru, tell me something. Anything you want, man. What year is it? Daru's smile quickly became something more serious as he answered me. It's 2036. The world is at war. Huh? Wait, but Okabe was supposed to die in 2025. How big of a jump did he make? He would have had to have gone to a different world line, like a complete, like, it couldn't be the alpha or the beta. He would have had to have gone to like I don't know, like what, the delta world line, would you call it, or something? What the heck? Daru gave me all the details. Then this really is the year 2036. That's right. It seemed unbelievable. But Daru's appearance, and more than anything my own, made it undeniable. 2036. Suzuha had said that World War III would start sometime in the next 10 years. 5.7 billion people would die, and the population of Tokyo would drop to 1/10 of what it once was. After that, the Third World War itself would end, but the chaos would continue, and even in Japan, no, everywhere around the world, battles would continue. Was that what I'd just seen? But why don't I remember any of this? All my memories were of 2011. I had no memories of the past 25 years. My last memory was of erasing Kuritsu's memories from Kagari's head. And Suzuha told me that I would die in 2025. Why am I alive? Yeah, exactly.
I want to know that too, Dad.
Suzuha chimed in.
We were all told Uncle Okarin died 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh? Suzuha leaned over him.
What's going on here, Dad? Did you lie to all of us?
Calm down, Suzuha. I'll explain. Daru looked at me as if he was remembering old times, and then resumed his explanation. Okarin, you said you've only got memories up to halfway through January 2011, right? Yeah. The world line changed in January 2011. That's all I remember. I'd gotten 25 years older without realizing it. That fact was starting to eat away at me. Maybe there's some problem with your body. Or maybe you're just confused. You should have memories up to the end of January 2011. The end? Why the end of the month? It was the end of the month when Mahotan saved your memory data.
Oh, yeah! See, it's like from the first one. So the first route, remember, Maho said she was gonna... She said she was gonna save us somehow, right?
Wow, dude. Oh my gosh. Did she re-download our memories? What the heck? Hyajo saved my memories? I guess you told Mahotan to take memory samples from you to help with the Amadeus research, right? I volunteered for Amadeus? And then I realized something incredible. Which means that inside my brain... Yep. Just like you guessed. Your memories are the ones that were digitized in 2011. Digitized memories inside my head.
Wait, Dad. I don't understand what's going on. How is Uncle Okarin alive anyway? You told me he died in 2025, right?
He did. For all intents and purposes, anyway.
For all intents and purposes?
That was when the race to make the time machine was at its peak. Everybody in the world wanted the paper that Kuritsu Makase had written, and her memories. But at the time, Stratfor had everything that she'd left behind. Stratfor. But even if they had it, they couldn't read it. They couldn't break the lock, you see. By the way, I was the one who built that lock in 2010. So they decided to capture someone who knew her well and get information from them.
Oh my gosh, it is. It is a continuation of the first route. That is insane. Holy crap. So, is this right at, like, basically sometime after the ending of the first route, or is it somewhere in between? Oh my gosh. Also, we woke up in, like, a warehouse type deal. Like, it was like, well, it was like a crumbling building, but, like, why were we there? And how are we being kept alive? And that was me?
They did everything they could think of to try and get information about Kurtz Makase out of you. When we rescued you, your mind was shattered. You'd lost the ability to ever survive on your own. You were as good as dead, and there was no chance you'd get better.
Then, his body was alive?
That's right.
Oh my gosh!
Okurin himself had given me the idea. He was starting to get worried about how they were after him.
But you could have at least told me, right?
You know what they say, right? To deceive your foes, first deceive your friends.
But...
Suzuha seemed a little depressed. It must have come as a shock that her dad didn't trust her.
Don't be like that, Suzuha. Only a very few people in Valkyrie knew about this.
I knew the name Valkyrie. Suzuha had talked about it a lot in 2010. It was the name of Daru and Suzuha's resistance organization.
Let's move on. Okurin's mind was shattered, and he was incapable of surviving. If we didn't do something, even his body would have died. So a few people who knew the truth have been watching over him for years in another facility. From 2025 to 2036. 11 years without letting anyone find out.
So this is a somewhat different world line, because we know that in one of them, where we screwed everything... Well, okay, no, that was technically in the Alpha World Line series of world lines, because I was going to say Nae gets older, blames us, and tortures us to death and kills us, right? So, yeah, that was in a different set of world lines. So, assuming we're still in, like, the beta set of world lines, then I guess in the beta world line, he never died at that point, if this is truly canon, I guess. Like, if this is, like part of all the other world lines as well, you know, because they're all just slightly different from each other. Wow.
You needed nutrients to keep your body alive. And since I was in bed the whole time, my joints would have gotten stiff, and friction against the bed would have caused my skin to split open. Someone had watched over me the whole time to keep that from happening. Was it Mayuri? Not just Mayushi, Faris-tan and Lukashi, and Maho-tan too. They were alive. Mayuri, Faris, and Lukako. Even in this terrifying world, they were still alive, and still looking after me. They had been for years. Hey, Daru. Why did I wake up now? My memories had been digitized in 2011. If they'd known those memories existed, they could have downloaded them into me a lot earlier, right? That's easy to explain. Until just a little while ago, we didn't know where they were. Actually, Stratfor had been holding on to your and Kuditz's memory data the entire time.
Oh, what? Oh, they had our memory data too. What the heck?
We just didn't know where it was. I found it 2 weeks ago. Want to guess where it was? It'll shock you.
Where?
Right next to us the whole time. It was at our college.
Yeah, oh my gosh, because of Dr. Leskinen, right?
No way. Tokyo Denki? They had a base in the basement. Not that there's much of anything left there now.
Stratfor had a base in the basement of Tokyo Denki.
So, 2 weeks ago, we managed to salvage your memory data and download it into your brain. But for the next 10 days, I hadn't woken up. And just as they were about to give up, I'd finally awoken.
Yeah, because I was thinking if they shattered his mind, how was it shattered, right? There would have had to have been some physical trauma probably, right?
So, like, even if they did put the memory data back in, would his brain be able to retain it or process it properly? That's interesting. I don't really know when they say his mind was shattered what that meant, so. After 25 years. 25 years. I stared at my hands. They were so thin, I could almost see the bone, and I could see veins popping out of them. The face reflected in the glass was unhealthy and wrinkled. My hair was starting to turn white, too. So I woke up after 25 years. I'm just like Urashima Taro. I can understand that it'll take you a while to process it. Of course, it was a shock. But the most shocking thing was, these memories were once data, huh? My memories since I was a kid. My memories of that summer. My memories with Kudits. All of them had been transformed into zeros and ones. Could you still say that I was a person? Could I still be called human? But it's the same as Makaseishi's time leap technology, right? You went through that a bunch of times, didn't you? He was right. But even if I knew it in my head, it still felt strange. I'd been cut off from 25 years of time. It had all been forgotten and left behind in a digital world. It felt like it had been stolen from me.
I still can't accept this.
Aw, don't say that, Suzuha.
You're lucky, Dad. You managed to deceive the whole world that way.
I didn't have a choice! Deceived, huh? I'd been deceived too. I'd been told I was fated to die in 2025. And that even in the beta world line, that wouldn't change. But no matter how it happened, I was alive right now. Even in the past, I'd been deceived by the future. And it wasn't just me. Suzuha and everyone else. The whole world had been deceived. The world was deceived? Oh, that's how he comes up with the idea to tell himself that in the first game. Remember? Because he said you have to deceive the world. Oh, yeah, and he's like, but first to deceive the world, you have to deceive yourself. Oh my gosh, because he was deceived that he was gonna die. Oh, that's so cool! Oh, I love that. That's so cool. We get to see that. We get to see like how he came up with that. And then there was a knock on the outside of the door. There was a visitor, it seemed. Suzuha got close to the door.
Moe moe for you. Bakyun kyun.
After hearing the world's most ridiculous password, Suzuha unlocked the door. It opened and a young girl came in.
Oh, it's Kagari. Uncle Daru. Big Sis Suzuha. Toot-toot-oo. Kagari, I told you not to come here unless you had a reason.
Kagari? This child was a young Kagari?
Sorry, but Mommy and everybody else left, and they haven't come back.
Now, don't get so mad.
You're spoiling her again, Dad. You need to be strict at times like this.
The way they interacted hadn't changed in 25 years. I ignored them and looked at Kagari. And she seemed to notice me too.
Hello?
Hello.
Who are you, mister?
Me?
I'm...
Huh?
I know. I'm a friend of your mother's. I hesitated for a moment, but decided not to give her my name.
A friend of Mommy Mayuri's?
Yeah, that's right.
Huh.
Is your mommy nice?
Yup.
Do you like her?
Yup. I love her.
I see. I could see the love she felt for her mother radiating from her face. Mayuri must have raised her with a lot of love, too. She'd been raised with everything Mayuri could give her. But after this, she was going to go to the past. She would be all alone in the past, separated from her beloved Mayuri. And then they would catch her and use her as a test subject.
Hey, Dad. Did you tell Big Sis Mayu that Uncle was up?
Oh no! I forgot! I need to do that. He took out what looked like a small wireless radio. This is Beryl Titer. Come in. This is Beryl Titer.
This is Stardust Handshake. Over.
Oh, she uses it, the name that he gave her thing. Oh. The voice I heard from the speaker was definitely Mayuri's. It felt a lot calmer than what I was used to, but it was definitely Mayuri. Wait, what was Stardust Handshake?
Mommy! Oh, Kagari. You're with Uncle Daru? Yup. He's busy with something important, so don't bug him too much, okay? Okay.
Anyway, Mayushi, I've got special news for you.
Special news?
Yup. You ready for this? Okarin's awake.
Really? Okarin's really... What's wrong, Mayushi? Okarin's... Did Okabe wake up? Really? Okarin's awake, Nia?
I heard one voice I knew after another coming from the radio. The voices didn't seem to have changed all that much. So I want you three to come back right now. Mayushi? What's wrong, Mayushi?
It's no good. She's crying too much to talk.
Well, I can see why. She wanted Okarin back more than anyone. Ah, it's so wholesome. Mayuri. Anyway, you should get back here as soon as possible.
Got it. We'll come back as soon as we get provisions.
Everyone else was overjoyed, but I saw that Suzuha's expression was clouded. What's wrong, Suzuha?
Why are you guys going out to get food? That wasn't planned for today.
Huh?
Sure it was. We got a message last night that it was today. No! It's a trap! Everybody get back here now!
A scream from the speaker cut her off.
What's wrong? What happened?
Oh my gosh.
We're under attack. The enemy... Dang it! Mayuri, Faris, run! I'll hold them off. But if we do that, Mule... I'll be fine. Hurry! No, Luca! Luca Neon! Dad!
Right!
Suzuha started running, and Daru followed after.
Wait, Daru! I'm going too! But Okarin, in your condition, let me go. Please.
He hesitated for a moment, but then quickly nodded and offered me his shoulder. He was a little thinner than when he was young, but his shoulder was still gigantic. I put my weight on it as we followed Suzuha.